Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great. So today I've come up with a brand new video to show you guys the differences between Sony Vegas and Filmora version 9. Right, so since I've now used both of these programs for a while and I kind of know what the difference is and whether I like one in one aspect and not like it for any other feature that it may have. These videos are going to be like a series of videos. So today I'm going to be filming part 1, which are going to be 5 different differences between Filmora and Sony Vegas. For all these 5 differences, I'm gonna be putting the timestamp, if that's what you call it, so where each of the difference will appear on the video. I'll have the timing on the description box, so just in case if you didn't want to watch one part, then you can skip to those parts that you want to watch. And since there's going to be 5 things that we're going to be talking about in it videos, so all the series will sum up to 6 videos. The reason for me making it all too short in one video, I would like to make it as short as possible on each video that I'm doing. There's a few reasons for that. It's because it will make my editing easy. The audio and the video synchronization will be much easier to handle, as well as the recording which I'm doing on Filmora 9. The screen recording has made it also very easier to work with. However, the reason that I specifically have shortened these videos is the mic and the voice recorder that I'm using, which has limited time to record, so I can only record 10 minutes at a time, then have to stop it. And the fact that I'm using Filmora to record the video or maybe the screenshot, well, in a sense will keep going and then my mic would stop. Then if I'm not concentrating on the mic and just looking at the screen, that way I'm just missing out on the audio and just recording on the screen. I'm just talking for nothing. Alright, the reason I'm doing these videos is that you guys can then go ahead and choose. If you're like, for example, a new YouTuber, you can then choose to go for Fimora or Sony Vegas. Of course, both of them have got their own advantages over each other, and then we're going to be talking about those as well, and whether I like one better or the other, it just will depend on what part of the editing that I'm talking about. So I'm quite excited to start this off, and I hope you guys gonna enjoy it as well. So let's get started. Hi, what's up? This is the Tech Girl 007 here, teaching you all about the tech, whether they're tech issues, reviews, tutorials, unboxing and much more, and that all in one right here on this channel. Right, so first of all, we have got something called split. So in here, I'm going to show you guys what's the difference in splitting videos in Sony Vegas and in Filmora 9. If you wanted to split a video or an audio when they're in a group, so you can just click on wherever you want to put a split on. So you click on there with your mouse, and then on the keyboard press on Ctrl and B. That will put a split for you on Filmora 9, whereas in Sony Vegas, if you wanted to put a split somewhere, you still need to click on where you want to split to be and then just press on S. So I thought this was an easier version to like split it, although I might be able to make a shortcut for S in there as well, but then I think S doesn't mean something else in there. So for now I'm going to leave it as it is. I kind of got used to doing the Control and the B, but still I don't want to be using my 2 fingers to just do a split. Okay, so in that aspect, I like Sony Vegas. Right, so the next one on my list is grouping and ungrouping. I've muted the sound for both of these editors, so then if by accident I'm playing anything, then you guys don't hear the sound, because at this point it's not very relevant. So grouping and ungrouping. Sony Vegas is really good for this part of the editing because it's easier to group and ungroup, whereas since I've been using Filmora 9, I haven't really figured out if you're able to do grouping or ungrouping. Yes, you can split, you can detach audio and everything, but then reattaching it's a bit difficult on Filmora 9. And let's go ahead and see how we do this on Filmora 9 first. So you've got if we move this, the audio, the video and the audio is moving at the same time. But if you want to like really detach the audio and then just move the video. Say for example, if you wanted to remove audio from one part, although you can maybe mute it, but then sometimes you just want to remove that extra bit in the editing process, right? So to do that, you want to put a split in here wherever you want, and then because I'm not going to be doing the whole video, so I'm just going to do part of it. So for this bit, I want to remove the audio from the video. So you right click on wherever on this bit, so you want to say detach audio. All right, so the audio has now been detached and moved down to here. It's because I've got so many video tracks in here, and this is like an audio track, that's why it has removed this. If I just right click in here and say delete empty tracks, and it should just come right behind it. Okay, and then this way you can just remove this, or you can bring it back by pressing Ctrl and Z, and it should come back. Right, so if I wanted to really attach these back together, it's a bit difficult, and I haven't done that before. It doesn't give me any option to reattach them. Okay, so now let's go on to Sony Vegas and see how we do this in Sony Vegas. Right, so I would like to put a cut somewhere. Say for example, if I want to put a cut here, then I'll press on S. Okay, so that should make a cut. Now I want to remove the video from the audio. So let's see, I'm gonna have to select the actual normal editing tool. Right, so here we go. So this is the bit where I want to remove the audio from. So again, you can basically right click and you say, go on to where it says group and say remove from. So this way your video is actually still there, your audio is still there, but then it has been detached from its video. Okay, so let's see if I, and the good thing about this is that it's not moved to somewhere where you can't find it, or it's out of your sight. It's still there, but then if you wanted to move it somewhere else, then you can do so this way. Okay, now if you wanted to attach it back with the video, this way you can do it. So you can actually, let me just remove that bottom bit. You can actually click on the audio or the video, vice versa, and then press on Control and then press on the video of it as well. Alright, so if you thought that you couldn't see the video in here because it was minimized, I've just brought this in. So now let's go ahead and regroup these two. So as you can see that this one and that one can be moved freely, and the audio is not selected. Okay, so what we want to do really is group them back together. So you click on one, press on Control on your keyboard, and the select the other bit as well. You right click and you go onto where it says group. Instead of now selecting remove from, you can actually select create new. Then that way you can see that they have grouped back in and you can move them together. Right, so the third differences in here that I'm going to show you guys is how you can actually copy and paste from one project to another project. Okay, so first things first, when you try to open a second window of Filmora 9, you can't really do that, whereas with Sony Vegas you can actually open two different editing pages at the same time. So like you can see in here, whereas with Filmora you can only open one. This way you're not able to edit two videos at the same time, or maybe cut and paste one bit from one video and put it into the other video. Say for example, if you're making something that is similar to each other, if you know what I mean. So let's see, and I'll show you what I mean by this third difference when I'm saying copy and paste from one to another. So say for example, if I wanted to really get this and put into the other editing window that I've got, you can actually right click, copy this and go onto this window and paste it in here without any issue. So if you press on Control and V, this should get pasted in here. Whereas with Filmora 9, you can't do that. Even if you close this, say for example, if I copy this, I close this, and then like a new Filmora 9 window, then I'm not able to do so because it doesn't even allow me to even open two windows at the same time. Then it would not, leave alone allow me to copy one bit into another editing window. Right, okay, so that was the third one that I've shown you guys. So now we're going to be talking about how we extract the video after we have actually edited everything. This should be the last part, but I thought I should just talk about it in here because it's not too hard. So at the start I just want to show you guys the easy bits, and then we're gonna go on to a bit more advanced things. Right, so on Filmora 9, when you extract a video, you go onto here, it's a green button, it says export, and then you get this window. I usually like to be on a local tab and then select MP4. It's automatically selected for you. It's like the format of the video that you wanted, and then I'd name the video, I'd select which folder it needs to be in, and then I would go to settings and change the frame rate to 30 frames per second. And then I just say okay. Okay, this way you're going to be having a better video quality. So, and then I would just say export. Okay, so that's how it is. And on Sony Vegas, I would go on to where it says file and find render. So I'd say render as, and then this should bring up a window as well where you can name your video. Okay, so here we go. We've got what we want to name it, and the extension would be WMV. You can change it to MP4, you can change it to all sort of other extensions or video format that you wanted to, and then you can actually choose the rendering option. It says render loop region. We are going to be talking about this at a later stage because this is a bit advanced, but I'm just gonna remove this. You have to always make sure that that's not ticked. Before it was actually an option right in here somewhere, but now it's not. You can actually choose in here which folder it needs to go onto. You can just browse the folder, and then you can choose which folder it needs to be extracted to, and then you have to choose the quality of how you want it to be. I usually would go with the bottom one, which is 8 megabits per second HD, 1080 by 30, because this is the maximum that is given me if I'm doing a WMV. Then I usually select this settings anyway, then I'll just say render. Okay, so that's the rendering bit with both of these programs. Right, so now we're talking about Filmora 9, the good thing that I like about Filmora 9, and one of the reasons why I've actually switched from Vegas to Filmora, although Vegas did have so many advantages, they both have advantages over each other, to be honest, but this was one of the particular reasons that I've actually switched. Okay, so the next one we're going to be talking about full view of when you're editing, full view of the editing screen basically. So in Filmora 9 it's very easy. You go into here and it says full screen. You can just press on there and then it will show you what you have edited in a full screen. This way you'll have a feel of how it will be when you maybe upload it onto video, put it in a CD, put it in a DVD or whatever you want to do with it. And this way you can see the full view, and then you can minimize that. You can actually restore it back to normal by going on to that. So whereas in Sony Vegas you don't have that option actually, but what you could do is you could really expand this bit and then maybe expand it from here and this way you can have like a kind of full screen, but that way it's not really full screen, to be honest. And then recently I've actually found out that you could actually double click in here, and that should either remove everything or basically make it into a full screen for the editing tracks. Whereas if you double click again, then it will just bring it back. Okay, so that is how you do it in Sony Vegas. I didn't like this fact because I couldn't really see. Sometimes it was just too small for some parts of the video. Say this is just big because the writing and everything is big. Whereas if I was like really concentrating on one part of the video, then this wouldn't have allowed me to do so on Sony Vegas. But when I switched to Filmora, it really gave me the option to actually, you know, view my what I'm editing in full view. I can actually see what it will look like on YouTube or wherever I want it to be exported to. Alright, so I hope I haven't bored you with all the ums and ahs and all that I was doing, because sometimes you just need to do that to give yourself a break when you're talking. So that was the 5 differences that I've shown you between Filmora 9 and Sony Vegas. The version that I was using, I believe, is 16.0. Okay, so now next I will have the next 5 differences on another video for you guys. It will be uploaded soon. I have not edited just yet, but it should be done soon and you shall see it. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share it, and I shall see you in the next video. And yeah, if you wanted to know more series like this, please comment to tell me which other series you wanted me to do these differences on. So like which other softwares, you know.